You know, the device you're watching this on right now, the building you're in, even the car you drive, they're all made from materials literally pulled out of the earth. But have you ever stopped to think about what that really costs? In this explainer, we're going to go deep, and I mean deep, underground to uncover the incredible world of minerals, the mind boggling wealth they represent, and the very steep price we all pay to get them. Okay, let's just start with a number that's almost impossible to wrap your head around 20 trillion rand. That is the estimated value of the mineral reserves just sitting under South Africa. It's a staggering fortune, right? A national treasure chest on a scale that's just immense. But a number that big kind of forces you to ask an even bigger question. When we talk about worth, is money the only thing we should be counting? That question right there is really the heart of our story today. We're going to explore what this treasure is, how we get it, and what its true cost really is. All right, so first things first, to really get a grip on the value, we need to know exactly what these treasures are. What are we actually digging for down there? So, what is a mineral anyway? Well, it's not just any old rock. To be a mineral, it has to be a solid, naturally occurring substance that was never ever alive. We're talking pure geology here, something formed by the planet itself. And here's the real kicker. Minerals are basically a one-time offer from Earth. They take millions of years of unbelievable heat and pressure to form. What that means is, once we use them up, they're gone, for good. There's no making more in our lifetime or in 1,000 lifetimes. And this is where it gets really personal for all of us. You see, that gold isn't just sitting in a vault. It's a vital part inside the phone you might be holding right now. That iron isn't just some rock. It's the skeleton of our cities and the body of our cars. And copper, that's the wiring that's literally bringing power to your home. We are, and I mean this quite literally, surrounded by these treasures every single day. So we know what they are, and we know they're invaluable to our way of life. The next big question is, how on earth do we get them? This brings us to the absolutely epic and often incredibly dangerous process of extraction. The word for this whole massive undertaking is mining. But as we're about to find out, there is absolutely nothing simple about it. Okay, so there are two main ways to go about it. Surface mining is pretty much what it sounds like. You just peel back the Earth's surface and create a gigantic open pit. But when those precious minerals are buried deep, you've got to switch to shaft mining, digging incredibly deep tunnels, or shafts, straight down into the planet's crust. And when I say deep, I mean it. Some of the gold mines in South Africa are the deepest in the entire world, plunging down more than 4 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's like stacking almost 9 of the world's tallest buildings on top of each other and then traveling all the way to the bottom. At those insane depths, the Earth's natural heat becomes a serious problem. Temperatures can soar to a sweltering 50 degrees Celsius. It is an extreme, totally alien environment that pushes human beings to their absolute limit. Now, getting this wealth out of the ground clearly comes at a huge physical cost. But there's another price being paid, a massive environmental one that really affects all of us. The impact really hits on 3 main fronts. First, the air gets filled with this fine dust that can damage lungs, sometimes decades later. Second, water, our most precious resource, is used in enormous quantities and often gets permanently contaminated. And third, the land itself is just scarred, with all the natural vegetation stripped away, completely destroying habitats for wildlife. And one of the most severe, long-lasting problems is something called acid mine drainage, or AMD for short. See, when a mine is abandoned, it often fills up with water. This water then mixes with all the newly exposed rock, creating this toxic, acidic soup that then leaks out, poisoning the groundwater for generations to come. And the ripple effects of this AMD are just devastating. It can wipe out all the fish and plants in rivers and lakes. If that same water is used to irrigate crops, it poisons them. And in some places, especially near old gold mines, it can lead to dangerous levels of radioactivity in the water from elements like uranium. It's a toxic legacy. So, beyond the toll on the environment, there is a profound human cost. Let's bring our focus down from that large-scale environmental damage to the direct personal impact on the men and women who actually work deep inside these mines. Every single day, a miner faces a constant barrage of dangers. You've got that crushing heat we talked about, air that's thick with fine dust and potentially toxic gases, the constant terrifying risk of rockfalls from all the drilling and explosions, and a relentless, deafening noise that can cause permanent hearing loss. It's truly one of the most hazardous workplaces on Earth. And you know, some of the worst dangers are the ones you can't even see. The constant breathing in of mineral dust leads to diseases like pneumoconiosis. It's a cruel, slow-moving illness that can take 20 years to fully show up, gradually scarring the lungs and robbing a person of their ability to just breathe. The danger follows them home long after they've left the mine. This slide tells that story, not with statistics, but through a single human life. A young man, just 25, starts mining, full of strength. Only 8 years later, the disease is already there, visible on an X-ray. By the time he's 46, his lungs have suffered massive, irreversible damage. This isn't just a medical condition. It's a life that's been profoundly and permanently changed. So, given these immense, life-altering risks, what is being done to protect the people who go into these dangerous places? Let's take a look at the critical safety measures that make this work even possible. Safety in these deep mines really depends on a few key things. First, you have these massive ventilation systems. They're like the lungs of the mine, constantly pumping fresh, cool air in and pulling toxic gases out. Then, the tunnels themselves are reinforced with heavy-duty roof supports, which are often the only thing stopping a total collapse. And finally, you have regular safety inspections to make sure these life-saving rules are actually being followed. And then, of course, there's the miner's own gear, their personal last line of defense. The hard hat with its lamp to cut through the darkness and protect from falling rocks, the steel-toed boots and heavy overalls, and maybe most important of all, an oxygen mask, a direct shield against that invisible dust that causes such terrible lung disease. Every single piece of this uniform is a necessity for survival. Which brings us right back to where we began. We've seen the incredible treasure, and we've seen the devastating toll. Our modern world, our technology, our very cities, all of it is built on this foundation of minerals. So knowing the full environmental and human cost of getting them, we're left with one final, very challenging question. Is the price we pay truly worth it